Welcome back to ABC Trainings. Today we are going to cover topic number 18 in Creo Parametric. So let's see. Using assembly features and shrink wrap. Shrink wraps are a collection of surfaces and items that capture the exterior shape of a part or assembly. Uses lightweight model, eliminate proprietary detail, simplified wrap. Shrink wrap features versus shrink wrap models. Dependency, surface subset versus solid options. Understanding assembly features. To apply assembly features, we need to be working in the assembly file compared to features we can apply as we are modeling parts. Assembly features are limited and only include subtractive features. This include extruded cuts, swept cuts, revolved cuts, fillets and holes. Now creating an assembly cut and creating assembly holes. See, actually we have added the screenshots, means how to do that. We are going to see this in Creo. Okay. The replacing components in an assembly. We can do this from this option by selecting the component in the model tree. Now see, a component can now be replaced with an assembly that contains the same component. User interface locations, click in an assembly, click operations, click replace. In the model tree, select the component and click replace on the mini toolbar, right? Understanding simplified wrap concepts. Okay, you can use simplified representation or simple wrap tools to simplify an assembly by excluding components in a particular representation or substituting one component for another. Additionally, simp refs allow you to control the amount of data retrieved for a component. So for any given component, you can retrieve all data, just the geometry, okay, or just graphics. For example, when working with a very large assembly, you may find it useful to create a simplified representation that only contains the component in a small section of the assembly, right? This enables you to simplify your working environment significantly and reduce the number of files that you need to download while still including critical geometry. Additionally, simplified representations improve the regeneration, retrieval, and display of times of assembly, enabling you to work more efficiently. You can use them to control which members of an assembly the system retrieves and displays. This lets you tailor your work environment to include only the information of current interest to you, for example, to speed the regeneration and display process. You can temporarily remove a completed sub-assembly that is unrelated to the portion of the assembly on which you need to work, right? Simplified representations are stored within the master assembly file. So if you are modifying a simplified representation, then you must have the master assembly file in session. An external simplified representation is a presentation of master assembly stored as a separate assembly model. An external simp rep contains particular components of the master assembly or their simplified representations. You can create multiple external simplified representations of a master assembly, each corresponding to a different area of the assembly and each at a different level of detail. You can include low-level components without top and intermediate level assemblies and allow multiple users to work simultaneously. External simplified representations avoid the risk of accidental modifications to top-level assemblies. All the components included in an external simplified representation are the same as those in the master assembly. Therefore, it is not necessary to propagate modifications made to the external simplified representations or master assembly. All modifications to external simplified representations are automatically reflected in the master assembly. External simplified representations are supported by Windchill. This allows you to check in the external simprep file to the Windchill database, retrieve an external simprep assembly, and create an external simprep on the fly. We are actually basically understanding the basics of simplified reps. The ability to use external simp reps allows multiple users to work on the assembly without checking out the master. Users can work on their simple reps, which can be particularly useful for large assemblies. Each user can check out only what is needed and download the rest. In Windchill 10.0, the concept of an external simplified representation is supported by the design concept object, a representative structure that can be derived from an existing CAD assembly or from a configuration context object. A configuration context is derived from a part structure. Now see, creating part simplified reps. This we are going to see in Creo. This is the steps that we need to follow. Okay. Okay. Now we have understood the theory of this simplified reps. Now let's go to Creo and see this. Okay guys, now we are in Creo. Now let's see the content that we have seen in theory one by one. First of all, let's see assembly cut. Now go to new, go to assembly, click on OK. Now go to assemble. Here I want, let's bring part 1. Okay, click on OK. By block and hole, we are going to see the extruder cut here. Alright, now click on this and this. Coincident constraint is given. Click on OK. Now see, let's hide the planes first. Now let's do one thing. Click on this surface and say sketch. Go to sketch view and just draw one little hole. Alright, now go to extrude and let's extend it to up to this. Okay, alright, click on OK. Now see, we have made the assembly cut here. We are in the assembly module only and we have done this. Okay, now let's see the next thing. Okay guys, now we are going to see assembly holes. We have seen assembly cut, now we will see assembly holes. Let's hide the, okay, let it be. Now you can see here the hole command. Just like in solid modeling or part modeling, the command actually usually works the same. Okay, just go to holes. Now as always, go to placement. Now let's see, actually I want to make a hole here completely till this surface, right? So I want a hole here. Now see, just like part modeling, it's asking linear, radial, diameter, coaxial point. We have seen the linear and coaxial. For linear, like obviously there are these two handles that we need to place for reference so that we can manipulate the position of that hole, actually right one. Okay, so let's make it here. I'll say this 50 and this also makes 50 and click on wait. Okay, now depth. What is saying? Drill 2 intersects with all surfaces. Drill on each side of placement surfaces by half the specified value. Okay, so let's do this and click on OK. Now see, we have made a hole, linear hole here. Now let's make one axial hole also, which we discussed previously. Placement, this surface I want a coaxial one. Now let's select the axis, it's here, right? Now let's select the surface, press Ctrl key and place this, then the surface is there, and do this, click on OK. Now see, so like in assembly module also we can make these holes like linear, coaxial, radial or diameter. Okay, now let's see the next point. Okay guys, now the last point in this session is simp rep, that is short form. It means simple representation. Now first of all, as we have read in the theory, understood this why it is used. Now see, if you are drawing a very complicated part like an IC engine or connecting rods or any pulley or knuckle joints and all that, so if we are if you are opening that part in assembly mode, you have assembled it and now you are going to your customer or client or whoever you are working for and you are opening that part, so it takes a lot of time to load the part into the graphic area. Why? Because of its complicated structures, different features and functions that we have used to make that part, right? So simplified representation, okay, that's simple. It is used for hide some of the features of that part so that it can take less time to load the data, to load the complete assembly into the section. Okay, so that's why simp rep is used, means to, you can show the complete part also, but some parts are not necessary to show, means like kind of holes or kind of little conveyor belts and little joints and all that. You can hide those parts so that the assembly, the part can be loaded quickly. It saves your time. So just for saving the time and just for this, simplified representation is used. Okay guys, so now to make you understand the concept of simplified version that I have told you earlier, let's consider this as a very complicated geometry, okay, and it's taking too much time to load into the graphical area whenever I import that part or whenever I open that part. Okay, now these holes I need to hide while importing the data because I want to simplify that means simplified representation. Now see, here's an option, view manager. Let's click on this. It is showing us the master rep, that means master represent master representation. That means it is a it's a master file of that assembly. It consists all of the features and functions. Okay, so now simprep is here. Under that this is coming. We have seen the explore already here. Click on new. Let's click on holes. Press enter. Now first of all go to attributes and then go to accelerate. Okay, press enter or press done. Now go to these features. Okay, in features it's asking select one or more items. Now select this. Now whatever items you want to hide, just click on this. I have clicked on this one hole. Okay, now it's already on extruded. Press on done. Now go to this and see all of the holes are hidden, right? Pattern of hole, it is still in a model tree, but using this simprep I have hidden, I actually hided the hole and its functions. Then click on done return. Now see, in master rep all of the features, all of the functions are available there, but I have created this whole simprep. That means I have created a version, simplified representation of a version where I have hidden the holes. We have not deleted it. Actually, you can see in the model tree also there's a see there's a pattern of hole 1. So the whole pattern is hidden now because I have simplified its representation. Okay, so by this way, while designing or while actually making a completed assembly or while going to show this assembly to your prospect, your customer client, you can do one thing. You can hide the unimportant features of an assembly. For that we use this simplified representation. Okay, I hope you guys understand all of this. So let's meet in next session.